Ready to
All right.
clap?
Yep.
Season 2. Season 2. Changing 100. Should we just open with, there's been a major change to one of us who's no longer a party pit dealer.
He like put his arm around me and he was like, "Are you working tonight?"
And then he goes, every time he's playing two hands, every time I win a hand, I want one digit of your phone number. Yes.
Yes!
Ooh. Right?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Season 2. We're
To
back.
Changing
We said we were going to be
100.
back.
I know. I'm so excited.
I actually got some messages and people were like, so when are you guys coming back? Are you guys coming back?
Yeah, one of our regulars at work was like, "Didn't you guys take a break?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but we're back."
Yeah, we're back.
I was like, "We're recording right now, season 2. It's very exciting."
Yeah, we have
Super pumped.
we have a lot going on personally. So.
Yeah. So when did we end? When was the last time we recorded?
Was it before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving?
I was gonna say, was it November, like 2023? I think it was like November. Early November though. I think it was. So what has happened in Vegas since then?
Since then in Vegas.
Since then.
Wait. I'm Krystal.
Oh
Here we
my
go
goodness.
again.
I'm Tori. And
Welcome
this
to Changing
is
100.
Changing 100. We're party pit dealers. We talk about gambling, crazy things that are said to us, how it's like being a woman in Vegas. All the fun, wild stories, or what the fuck.
Industry.
Working in the industry, what's going on in Vegas, new things in Vegas.
Well, should we just open with, there's been a major change to one of us who's no longer a party pit dealer.
I didn't know if you were going to bring that up or not, or if we were just going to pretend that you were still a party pit dealer.
I got to be honest with the audience.
Yeah.
And plus, the change has brought so many more stories.
That's true. It really has. We really have the ins and outs now.
Because now I get treated way differently.
Mm-hmm.
But also different circumstances that I'm working in as well makes it very different.
Well, it's not me. I'm still a party pit dealer. It's Krystal.
If you haven't caught on.
Krystal has switched over to what we thought was going to be an amazing opportunity and an amazing change. But we're unsure now.
We're still evaluating.
Still trying to figure it out.
Let's just say I want to be a party pit dealer every day.
Yeah?
Yeah. Every day I'm like, ugh. Give me the boots. I'll take the boots.
Oh my gosh, the boots. Isn't that wild? That was like my number one complaint was the boots. And now I'm kind of like, eh.
Well, you know what? Now that I don't wear the boots, an 8-hour shift.
Not bad. Yeah, right?
Nothing.
No body aches, no nothing.
Nothing.
No, it's honestly wild how much the boots actually affect the job and the way your body feels.
No, 100%.
Like it's not just like, oh, my feet hurt because I'm in heels all night. It's like your knees, your back, your hips.
I still wear somewhat of a heel. I wear platforms because I'm short.
Yeah.
And I don't, so if you're not a
table.
dealer, if you're a short person, they have these little boxes that you can stand on at the table so that it's easier for you to reach. I don't like standing on those boxes because I've fallen off. I've fallen off those boxes.
You fall off the boxes?
Like because I move. I work the table. Like I move.
Oh, you walk the table?
Or walk the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk the table. So
But
there's been a few times where I'm like,
these boxes are not small. Like it's not like you're standing on like a
yoga block size.
Like a
box.
yeah.
It's like
It's got to be like 2 feet by a foot.
At least.
Yeah, so like 2 feet wide by like a foot tall.
At least.
Kind of a box. So that's why I was like, you fall off this box? I'm confused.
My foot has like off the side of it. So then what I just do is I just wear platforms.
That's smart.
And chunky shoes. But one of my platform shoes still has somewhat of a heel. No problem.
Still no problem?
8 hours.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody and I was like, I don't think we realize how bad these boots are for our bodies.
I remember when I first started, somebody told me that some of the girls get their shoes customized.
Yes.
Like full-blown customized shoes where they get like proper insoles and all that stuff.
They take them to like a cobbler, like a shoe worker, and they get like the foam inserts sewed in. They get an extra rubber sole put on the bottoms of them. Like you can get ankle support added in. Like of course
I
you're
didn't know it was
gonna
all that.
No, you really can. You can get a lot added, which is smart if you're there full time like me, but I just have been like, I don't want to spend money
Right.
to come to work.
And I didn't think it would
But I
make a
really should just go
difference.
get them done. Yeah. No, it
And
does.
now that I'm like, I'm still wearing heels. I'm in a platform at that, and my feet don't hurt after 8 hours. I've done overtime and my feet don't hurt. And I'm just like, maybe that girl was onto something.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I actually end up buying a new pair of boots every like 3 months because the box that we dance on wears the sole of them down. So after 3 months, my socks are literally poking through the bottom of the shoes.
Yeah.
And I wear everything until it dies. Like literally until it's unwearable, I will wear it.
We should you should
so
take pictures
bad.
of some of the boots.
Yeah.
So we can post it and then people can see like when we say we wear them until
They die. Yeah,
they
you're
die.
right.
I'm talking
No, mine
like
are dying.
soles
Like
coming
I'm
off.
talking, yeah, like my feet look like alligator mouths when I walk because the sole is staying down and my toes are coming up because the seams have completely ripped out. Like that
Or
kind of thing. Or like girls' heels will actually break off the boot.
yeah, the heel. Yeah,
The
I've
heel will
seen some
break
heels
off the boot, so then they like are walking like flopping their heel on the boot.
They're
Also because here's the thing, they're go-go boots. They're the plastic shiny
the
go-go
plastic
boots.
part. That's what I was going to talk about. Yeah.
They're the plastic shiny cheap China made go-go boots. And they're not made to be worn 40 hours a week.
No.
Plus, they're made to be worn one night on Halloween. Like
for a few hours.
for a few hours. They're not made for it. That's why I literally have to buy a new pair every 3 months because they're just not made for it.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, someone's like, just take them to the cobbler and get them like hyped up. I'm like, no. I don't want to spend money to come to work. Like I already spend money to come to work. But I really should just go because honestly, maybe if I gone and spent the extra $150, I might have those boots for a whole year instead of every 3 months.
Well, you would have them forever because you would just take it back to the cobbler anytime something happens.
Oh.
So you'd have them forever.
That's true. One of the girls told me that she just got like an extra sole put on the bottom and it was like an extra $100 or something.
Honestly, that's not too bad. Come in. So yeah, my feet don't hurt. I'm a regular dealer.
There you go. You know, I started a new job too where I don't have to wear heels, but I'm standing on my feet literally 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like for straight 8 hours, I'm actually standing. And same thing. I'm like, my feet don't hurt here. Thank God I don't have to wear heels because I would not be able to do both. But yeah, I've always said I would do that job with so much less complaining if I could wear my own shoes.
And 100%, I gotta say that if they just let us wear a black shoe.
Yeah, if you want the boot look, like we could buy stockings. Like I would definitely wear just like a black shoe with like knee-high stockings.
Yeah.
Because that's cute.
Or sneakers.
Yeah.
I think sneakers would look cute. Like cheerleaders, you know, there were those cute sneakers.
Oh, yeah. Like black cheerleader sneakers. That would look cute. Absolutely.
Would fit with the property.
Yeah. True. It would.
Anyway, so that's the breaking news. I'm sure it's on the thumbnail that somebody quit.
Yeah, right?
It was me. I quit. I'm
sad.
I have some fun stories though. Lots and lots and lots of
Lots
bunnies.
of crazy stories.
Lots
Okay.
of bunnies, yeah.
Well, should we start off with like a what the fuck?
Should we start off with that and then we'll get into like updates?
Yeah.
Of where well, I mean everybody knows where I've been, but
yeah.
Kind of.
I think let's do that. Do you want to go first?
I have a fun one. Okay. I was staying at this property. We did a staycation, middle of the strip. I'll just say that because I don't want to say which property exactly because I don't want to make like an impression on a property because it's not what it is. Because this is across all of them. There are working girls across all of the properties. From your main strip to downtown to your local spots. They're everywhere.
Yes.
That's their job. One night, walking through the casino, we're going to go to this bar, and I seen 15 to 20 people getting arrested. Working girls, they're wranglers, like so many. I'm walking, and I hear this girl saying, "Stop, stop," right? So I look over because I'm like, someone's in distress.
Right.
This girl's holding on to the wall like that, like death grip. Her
Like
stuff
on a
is
corner?
all over the floor. Yeah, like
Oh my
a
God.
doorway, like
Yeah.
an entry exit doorway, like to a restaurant or something, holding on for dear life. And the security's trying to pull her, and she's just screaming.
Oh my God.
Her friend is like right there, and her friend's like, I don't know what's happening. And
Oh my God. That's awful.
It was hilarious because I was just like, well, you guys came on the wrong night, because
Yeah.
I saw so many working girls and so many of their wranglers getting arrested. Later on, we're at the bar, and these two women come to the bar, and immediately I go, working girls. They're gonna come get them any moment. One of the ladies is wearing a black bra, black thong, a white overdress thing. It's see-through. It's not netted or anything like that. It was just like a thin fabric.
Okay.
Right? So you could still kind of see what she has underneath, but it's basically covered. She goes to the bar, and she's talking to the other patrons at the bar, and she's like grabbing her teeth. She's like flicking her tongue at them, and I'm like,
my gosh.
working girl,
Yeah.
right? Like, obviously. It takes a while for security to get there, and I'm kind of just looking around like, why isn't anybody coming? It seems like they're kicking them all out tonight. Come to find out, not a working girl. And her friend, who was there with her, like little black dress, like a little purse, like working girl.
Fit the type for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come to find out, white dress, see-through white dress, is a pilot. Very
What?
well known. Yeah.
Like an airplane pilot?
Yeah. Not for like commercial lines, like she flies private,
Yeah.
like and she has like her own plane or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild. She flies into Vegas.
I wonder if that's a service she offers. Like,
Wait a minute. Yeah, wait. I didn't think that far.
Have like a lingerie pilot fly you into Vegas.
Hold
whoa, what a
on.
business. Like, imagine like getting on an airplane privately, and your pilot is in lingerie, and all your stewardesses are in lingerie. Oh, that
I should go find
because
her.
the way she was acting pretty much sounds like,
Right.
you know, like some girls are just hypersexual, hyper flirty.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Super extroverted.
Yeah.
And then her friend, reality TV. Yeah. I never looked it up, which now reminds me to look her up. But yeah, and so
Wild.
not working girls at all. Not in the slightest, but interesting.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. Because obviously I'm like, so were they working girls? Because security did come. They were
Right, so
acting
you're
really
waiting
crazy.
for
Yeah.
for them to come tackle them to the ground.
Yeah, and then security came, asked them for their
They don't really
IDs.
tackle them to the ground.
No. They ran their IDs. No, they're not in the system. Found out the pilot and a reality star.
So cool. So how did you find out they were a pilot?
I asked security.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're so funny. You're like, hey, I'm a nosy bitch. I just have a question.
Be like, who are they?
That's really interesting. I wonder if that's like something she offers. That would be really cool. I would be a stewardess on that flight.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm sure they would make tons of money.
Thousands at least. But yeah, isn't that crazy? I felt really terrible afterwards because I was like, I put them in a box.
I mean, it is what it is. We all do
You're
it.
in Vegas.
Especially because that's been a thing on the strip recently is LVPDs cleaning up.
Yeah.
So we've heard that on a few different properties they've been coming in and taking everyone out and arresting all the ladies. And
actually, you know what? This is really funny. Somebody who works at, because I was on that side of the strip when I was staying there, they said that they don't kick them out because it's good for business. And I would say, yeah. I can see
yeah, you know, I haven't actually been in that world, so I don't really know, but I do know people expect it.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Like, I took someone home the other day after work. It wasn't even the other day, it was a little while ago, but he was telling me a story that because he normally walks home from work because he lives very close. And I was taking him home, and he was telling me a story that someone like approached him on his walk home and was like, how do I find a girl? And he was like, I'm sorry, what? He was like, yeah, I'm looking for someone to pretty much give me head. Like, how do I find someone? And he was just like, go sit at the main bar in this casino and you will be propositioned. And the guy was like, what? And he was like, go sit at this bar, order a drink, and you will be propositioned. So I do know that people expect it. Like, I've had questions like that while I'm working on the table. Like, I've actually been mistaken for one time. Like, long before I met my husband, I was talking to this DJ. And so I would go to all of his gigs, and he was DJing at a lounge, like a cocktail lounge on the strip. So I was sitting there, and I was in like, and I always get dressed up when I go to the strip. Like, I don't go to the strip unless I have like a cute out, like, unless I could walk into a club, I don't go to the strip. So I always have heels on. I always have like a nice little outfit on. So I was sitting at the bar waiting for him to be done with his DJ set. But I was like with him. He was literally right next to me. He was like 5 feet away from me. And the old manager of that cocktail lounge came up to me, and everybody was like, oh, this is da. He used to run this place. He's somewhere else now. He like put his arm around me, and he was like, are you working tonight? And I just looked at him, and I was like, no, I am not. And he was like, no, it's okay. Like, I won't tell anybody. Like, I won't get you in trouble. And I was like, no, I'm here with him. Like, I'm here with the DJ.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, like, it's okay if you are. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to get you in trouble. And I was just like, no, sir, I'm still not. Doesn't matter how many times you ask me, I'm still not working tonight.
At that
still
point,
not
I would have been
doing
like, I'm really not. And are you undercover?
No, exactly. I was like, because clearly you're undercover if you were. And if I was, I still wouldn't admit it to you. Kind sir. But that's interesting that, I always wondered that because at our casino, someone has told me, like, there's a working girl that never gets in trouble. Like, I've seen other working girls kind of get talked to by security, but there's one that I guess never gets in trouble, and we just assume that she's doing the owner.
Which one?
I don't know which one because I've never really seen her. But everyone's like, no, there's one girl that's always there almost every day. She works, and nobody ever says anything to her.
Because there was one girl I saw a lot.
We have like,
she was really cute, really tiny, petite.
That's what everyone was telling me, but I don't think I've ever seen.
I think I know who it is.
I just knocked the microphone. I don't think I've ever seen a tiny petiter.
She's so cute. She's so pretty.
Wait,
when I first saw her,
then I definitely have not seen her.
When I first saw her, I even did the, is she? And then I saw her multiple times, and I was like, oh, she is. Okay. And then I saw her with one of my players, and I was like, oh, she is.
Okay. No, because we definitely have like a little handful of girls that are at our casino regularly that I recognize regularly.
There's regulars.
But none of them are petite. None of them are even short.
Oh, yeah, this girl's really
small.
Small, yeah.
Okay, so I've definitely never seen her.
And she's gorgeous. Like, she's so pretty. That's what caught my attention, because she was walking to the bar, and I was like, maybe, because she was by herself. And I was like, she's so pretty. Like, she looks well taken care of. But then again, it depends the clientele, like what they go for and all that stuff.
Right. So, I mean, that makes sense to me that it's probably good for business, because I do know people expect it. At the Palms, that was the thing for the Palms for the longest.
Was it?
Yeah, like all the sketchy stuff happened at the Palms. Like, the Palms had all the escorts, all the prostitutes, all the drug dealers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, that's like something that they're known for.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I just always associate the Palms with Playboy.
Yeah, they had like Playboy.
Spoiler alert. Maybe spoiler alert. I'm going to say this in another episode. That we might get one of the managers, I think, of the Playboy Club on the show. I just texted her last night.
Oh, very exciting. Oh, that makes me excited, because I would have definitely worked at the Playboy Club.
We have somebody, yeah.
Should we just write them an email and say, do you want to reopen?
Oh, God, right? And let us run it.
Yeah, no, please.
We will go down in history.
I don't want 5 men who are in their 60s about to retire to come in and try and run that shit. Like, can you please hire like 4 or 5 like younger women who could run that shit for the next 20 years,
but who have a good head on their shoulders.
Yes, who have a good head on their shoulders and who can work. Yes, who just know what they're talking about. Because that's what I'm realizing a lot about Vegas. Like, it's these old men that run shit, and they're outdated, and ugh.
Yeah, it's kind of like Playboy, if you think about the whole, like, how Hugh Hefner is being exposed now after he's long gone, and how bad it was in there, even though it was portrayed as women empowerment
Right.
and like
Yeah.
letting women have the spotlight and all that stuff, but it really wasn't. Yeah, we need to get over that.
Yeah.
And we need somebodies who have a good head on their
I
shoulders.
would love to do that. I would have worked for Playboy Club in a heartbeat if I was here and I was 21.
It was one of my goals when I turned 21.
I
I was like,
definitely.
I'm working there.
For the longest time when I modeled, I really wanted to be in Playboy. That was like one of my goals.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to submit for Playboy and be in a Playboy.
100%. I went there when I was 21. I went to the Playboy Club and I walked in there and I was like, wow.
I know.
This is where I belong. and then it closed down.
Should we just open our own like party pit? Where could we go that we could open our own party pit and run a party pit?
Isn't it like a monopoly?
I don't know. Like, could we open just like a side, like a locals something?
I don't know, but that would be so
That would
much
be really
fun.
cool. That would be
It would be
blast.
so much fun.
I would definitely do that.
It would be so much fun.
Definitely do that.
Anyways, what's your what the fuck?
Oh my god, I forgot we were even talking about what the fuck.
Talking about the working girl.
So I got called out on my game one night. Like I was like doing my whole like game with some guy and another player called me out on running my game on some guy. So
go ahead.
I was so taken aback. He was like, "You're blushing now." I was like, obviously you just called me out on my game. Like obviously I'm blushing. So I'm dancing on the box. This guy who's like not even next to the box playing at the table, but maybe like 2 tables away, is like looking at me and he's like, "She's taking all my money," talking about his dealer.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh man, like move tables. Like she's fired. She's so mean." Because that's my number one thing I say when I come to a table and I'm like, "Oh my God, like you just took all their money. Get her out of here. She's fired." So he's like, "Can I come up and dance?" And I'm like, and what I always say to those players that say stuff like that, I'm always like, "Yeah, you can come dance if I can go play with your money. Like, yeah, you can dance, you can do my job, I'll give you the boots, and then I sit and I play with your money." He's like, "Deal." So he like pretends to walk over and whatnot, and we're like, ha, ha. I don't know. So then later on in the night, like maybe an hour later, I go on break, I come back, I go to the bathroom. He's like, I like run into him. He's like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "Oh, come play roulette with me." So I walk him over to my table. I tap the girl out who tapped me out so I could go to the bathroom. Tap her out. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, buy in." So I have 2 other players on that table at the time. So he makes the 3rd player. One of the first players, he gets killed. So he ends up leaving. So this guy, he's talking to me. He's like, "Where are you from? This, what do you do? Oh, do you live in Vegas?" Which is my favorite fucking question that people ask. "Oh, you live here?" No. I'm from Missouri. I just fly here every weekend to work.
Every weekend.
So don't ask that. Don't ever ask that question. Don't ever ask somebody who's working, "Oh, do you live in Vegas?"
Yeah.
Because yes, we all fucking live in Vegas.
Yeah, we do live here. There are houses.
Oh my God. That was the best question. So I'm like talking to him. It's like 20, 30 minutes. He's like, "Oh, can I get your number?" And I'm like, "No," because I'm married. But I'm like, "You can have my Instagram." So I gave him my Instagram. He ends up leaving. Like the whole time we're just like back and forth, like bantering, you know, like whatever. But it's like fun and lighthearted. Like it's not anything intense. So he leaves, and the player, my last player who had been there since before he came, my last player, he goes, "Man, you just worked him so well." Because he was giving me a lot of money too. Like he was giving me a lot of tips. And I was like, looked at him and I was like, "I'm sorry?"
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever said something like
no
that
one's
to
called
me.
you out.
Nobody's ever said something like that to me. He's like, "No, that was great." Like
he gave you props too.
He did. He was like, "That was great." He ate right into it. Like he was giving you money. Like you were making him laugh. Like he like thinks he has a chance with you.
He was watching.
No, he was watching. And like the whole time I was talking to this other guy, the guy that I was like bantering with, he was like looking at me and I kept making eye contact with him, but he was like smiling at me. So I thought he just was enjoying like the atmosphere.
No,
like, "Oh, this
like,
is fun. Like you guys are joking."
See you.
No, he called me the fuck out. He was like, "That was great." He was like, "Do you do that with all your players?" And I was like, "No, because clearly I haven't done that with you."
Right, yeah.
But I was like, "No, you know, we were talking earlier in the night and he found me." So I was like, "Oh, come play with me." You know, like he bought in. I think he ended up winning like $300. So it was like nice for him because he ended up making money before he left. And he's from the Midwest and I'm from the Midwest, and he's like, oh, do you ever go back to the Midwest? Like, you should hit me up. And I'm like, oh yeah, like, of course,
Yeah.
you know, like, I only go once a year, but of course I'll hit you up, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
like,
Yeah.
whatever. And so this guy, and I would have never pinned him for it because I used to be friends with like a lot of like guys that were pimps and like ran girls and had girls and stuff. Like, I used to kind of run in a friend circle like that. And this guy like that called me out. I would have never in a million years like thought. He was tall and thin and nerdy and white and had glasses and had like a little sunroof bald spot on the top of his head. Like, I would have never in a million years thought that he realized what was going on. So then
He's the perfect person to be in that
yeah.
position. Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, sir, are you a pimp?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
How do you know?
Because not that I'm like running game like
Do
that
you
on
listen to our
him.
podcast?
Yeah, for real. Not that I was running game on this guy like that, but
Right.
like, I'm also there to make money, you know?
100%.
And he just was having a good time and he was tipping me a lot. And of course, we were joking while I was dancing on the box. And then he left and he was like, oh, we're both from. It was just a long story. But the fact that this
got
like
called
tall,
out.
thin, frail, nerdy guy, like,
Right?
was just like, that was really good. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry. He
Right.
was like, no, he really fed into all of that.
If I
And I
would have
was
seen
like,
him, I would have
what?
been like, oh, I'm safe here. Nobody's going to know what I'm doing. But
Right.
then for him to call you out, I would have been like,
I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I was so caught off guard.
that's great.
Yeah. So there's that one.
Called out.
Yeah. Oh, and I have like a quick peeing story for you. So I'm in roulette, and this guy had been peeing.
Oh, no.
I'm in roulette, and I had been in roulette for like 2-3 days at the time, and this guy had been playing with me the entire time. And he was just obnoxious and annoying, and he was trying to whip the table with me every time, for 3 days straight, like playing with me for hours. And
How
I was
old is
just
he? Can we verify? Or like give me a range. 30s, 40s, 50s.
late 30s.
Okay.
And what's interesting is he had a girlfriend that was there who was probably a little older than him. I would say maybe like mid 40s, late 40s. He was playing roulette and she was just hopping the bar, going from, oh, and he was like short and white, and like a little chunky, but not too chunky, but just kind of obnoxious, nerdy style. And then his girl was like a little prettier, but older, but not that prettier. I don't know how to describe it. And she was just going down our bar and was like hopping from tall buff black guy to another tall buff black guy to another tall buff black guy.
Patrons or
Patrons.
oh.
So he's playing roulette and his girl's just out here shooting her shot, going around. And then the next day I was on the opposite side of the casino dealing roulette, and I had like a group of 3 guys that were there for a bachelor party, and here she comes. She fucking found her way down and was hitting on all of them, like. So anyway, yeah, it was an interesting dynamic. Like,
Win
I
in
was like, are you guys
Vegas.
into like, what is that called?
Win in Vegas.
Win in Vegas?
No, I'm just saying, like, when people come to Vegas,
Right.
lose their minds.
I don't think they were swingers, but I was like, are they like, what is that called? Cuckolding or something?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it was like more like a cuck.
Likes to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was more of like a watching situation, not like a swinger situation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but he was like annoying and just, he was annoying and obnoxious, and I wasn't fond of him. So he, like, his third day playing with me, he was like, I really have to go to the bathroom. Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? But he's like, I'm on a roll. I don't want to leave. So I was like, oh, the bathroom is down there. So he ends up leaving, and before the next spin is over, so the ball lands, I'm pushing out payments, he's already back.
When you snap that ball to when you start doing a payout is how long?
I would say no more than 60 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say like 40 seconds to a minute.
Like, even if I snap that ball really hard,
where it's just going for a little bit
it's
longer
going
than usual,
really fast, I still don't think it's more than a minute.
No, it does not take a ball that long to drop.
One day. I should ask the floor to time it for me.
Yeah, we should.
But
it does not take the ball that long to drop.
It doesn't. And so the fact that usually when people go to the bathroom, I'll say this, usually when people go to the bathroom, they're gone for like 2, maybe 3 spins. Okay, yeah. So the fact that he had left and came back before the full payouts were pushed out, I looked at my pit boss and I was like, he definitely peed on a slot somewhere.
For sure. There's no way he made it all the way. I know where the bathrooms are in that building.
There's no way he made it to the bathroom did his business and came back in that amount of time. And he came back, he's like, oh man, thank goodness. Like, I was really holding it for a long time. I feel so much better. And I was like,
You're on one of those slots.
I was like, somewhere around here, you fucking peed on the floor on a slot. Like,
yeah.
I told the pit boss, I was like, he just went to the bathroom and came back before I was even done pushing out payments. And she looked at me and she was like, so he peed somewhere. I was like, 100% he peed somewhere.
I wonder where.
I'm sure just the closest corner that nobody was standing in.
Right, because when you do pass through those slots, there's like
little corners.
There's so many,
and stuff.
that you could find a corner really quick.
Yeah.
To just go real fast. Ew. Wow.
Yep.
And then he touched the chips, and then you had to touch chips.
And then I had to touch them. Yep.
This is why you don't put your fingers on your face when you're in Vegas.
This is why you don't put the chips on your. Yep. You don't put them in your mouth. When you drop them in your drink, you're just down a trip. Like, it's just all the things. Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk about game?
Yeah.
I witnessed a really fun situation. Like, I wish I was the dealer in this situation. Oh, I was next to the girl. This was so good. I loved it so much. There's this guy comes to the table. He's not really paying attention. He was there before the floor even goes, oh, hey, you're back. And he's like, yeah. I'm talking like gold bracelet, just diamonds. Like, I don't know what kind of watch he has. It was probably better than, I don't know if anything's better than a Rolex, but very expensive. He has money. Talking about how he just got kicked out of another big property. And he goes, they kicked me out because they punched somebody in the face.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I would be talking about that at the next property.
Carry his money.
Okay.
He's one of those people.
Oh my goodness.
He has money. This isn't like, oh, he thinks he has money. No, this is like he has money.
Yeah. Okay.
He goes, yeah, they wouldn't even let me cash out my chips. And usually people who have money always have an entourage or at least like somebody with them. So his little assistant man was with him. And the guy takes out $1,000 chips just on the table. And they're like, yeah, they won't let me cash these out. And I'm just like standing there watching. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm like, okay. So that means we can make money.
Yeah,
That's
right.
all I
100%.
thought. He finally looks up at the dealer and goes, oh my God, I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm going to marry her, right? And I'm just like, she better do her job. Yeah. She better do her job. He throws a bunch of hundreds on the table and she changes it, gives him a bunch of black, and he just takes some off the top and goes, that's for you. And then he goes, every time he's playing two hands, every time I win a hand, I want 1 digit of your phone number. Yes. Yes.
Ooh,
right?
I'm married and I like that. I like that.
That was so good.
Oh, that is, what a great,
it gets even better.
Hustle for him.
He was putting a black chip in front of for her.
Yeah.
So 200 every hand because he's playing two hands and a digit of her phone number every time he won. So it went back and forth for a while and he got up to 6 digits and then he lost all of his money.
Oh no.
And then he left his number for her and then at the very end he took out more cash and was like, this is for you, and just threw like $500 on the table and was just like, that's for you.
Wow. Oh, I would have been living if I was that dealer.
Right?
I would have had so much fun.
I would have had so much fun.
That would have been a blast.
She's very shy.
Yeah.
She was uncomfortable.
It's always the shy ones,
I
right?
know. I was just like, she better do her job. And then I saw and I was like, she's not capable. I was like, I need to talk to her.
Dang it. Yeah, I know. We need to talk about spitting game. That's a good one. I love that. For every hand I win, I get a digit of your phone number.
And then to get to 6, last hand.
Right.
6 digits, last hand, he loses both. And I was just like, ooh, it wasn't in the cards, sir.
She's like, thank God.
She was. Because I talked to her afterwards. She's like, I wasn't giving him my real number, but then I was scared that if he called the number and then I didn't answer.
She was standing there. Yeah.
Or like if he came back later and said, you gave me the wrong number, she was getting all in her head about it. And I was like, girl, that's when you like throw it back and go, no. Every hand you win, I want a digit of your number. Right? Like do something to turn the table so that you're not put in a weird situation.
Right. Like every time you win, you have to pay me an extra $50, $100 for the digit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you win, but
I would have given
it needs to be worth it in my book. Like, because I would have
given him my 7, but not given him the area code and been like, that's more than
There you go.
$100.
Yeah, true. Like, I'll give you
Right.
the 7, but not the area code.
Guys, this is how you do it. Like,
Right.
come on.
Yeah.
These men come in
Interesting.
there to play, and if you get a man like that who's in it to do stuff like
Who's in it to
that,
win it? Yeah.
yeah, and who wants to play that game with you, play the game. Make it
Right.
worth it for yourself.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that. For every hand I win, I get a digit of your phone number. I would have loved that. I would have been so excited.
Right? I would have been like,
I would have been
game
living my
on.
best life. Yeah. I'd be like, all right, let's do it. Well, obviously, you wouldn't have even given out any digits of your phone number. You probably would have gotten at least half of mine. No, because you kill everybody, Christine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do kill everybody.
Because you kill everybody.
And I would have been like, sorry.
Right. I'd be like, whoops.
That was good. I love that one.
I love that one. That's a good one.
I went to the bathroom, and it didn't take me 30 seconds, and I washed my hands.
Yay. Thanks for washing your hands. Okay. So what else has happened in Vegas since we haven't recorded? First thing that happened was F1.
F1 took over Las Vegas.
Okay, so what was everyone so worried about was the traffic, right?
Traffic?
For me, going downtown, not so much traffic.
No, not an
Perfectly
issue.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, I left my house like 2 hours early the first day because I was like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Literally got there in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
No problems. No problems parking. Keep in mind, this was downtown, though.
Yeah, it's not affected by the traffic at all.
No problems parking, no traffic, no issues. We were actually slow, considering.
I obviously didn't work F1 weekend.
We were actually slow, considering that it was the weekend and that F1 was in town. But we didn't do bad. It wasn't anything to write home about, the money we made. But we also didn't do bad because we had good quality people. But in consideration, it was slow.
Interesting. Okay.
But we still did like our average amount, maybe a little bit higher than our average, because the people that were there were really good quality.
I mean, and that's usually how it can go in any position in this industry, cocktail waitress, dealer, whatever. You just need one.
Right? Oh, yeah. No, you just need one to change your life.
One can change things significantly. But to give context, this is not the first time. F1 has been here before, but I guess the track just went around Caesar's Palace, I think.
Someone told me that it was just like a little show or something. I didn't look into it, so I don't know. But someone told me that it was like in a giant parking lot.
Yeah, and it went.
It wasn't a full.
Just one. I think it was Caesar's.
It wasn't like a full race or something. It was just like a little show, show off, and that was in the 90s.
In the 90s. Yeah.
In the 90s.
So, F1 is now in Vegas as a full event, like a full, like race day. So all of that.
You would probably know more than me, but is it a full thing? Because I've heard so many rumors about it. So they're coming back next year for sure.
Yeah, so it's a 10-year contract.
10 years, okay.
But it's not locked in. I think 3 years is locked in. They have to come for at least 3 years. And then I don't know who votes on it, but somebody has to vote to say if they will fulfill the rest of the contract. I think it's 10 years.
Because I was hearing multiple things about it. So I was hearing that we had a 5-year contract.
Maybe it's 5
years. Then
I
heard we had a 10-year contract. And then I heard that this was the year that they could decide, F1 in Vegas could decide if they wanted to continue. So this was supposed to be like a trial year to figure out
to see if it would work.
If it would work, do they want to do it every year or do they not want to do it every year?
It was a lot. It was a lot of figuring things out. So F1, Formula 1, you're racing cars over 100 miles per hour on a track. They have different races all over the world. It's very big in Europe. It's not very big in the States. It seems to be growing in the States significantly because they have it in Texas, they have it in Miami, and now Vegas. They took over. So this is the context of the situation as to why F1 in Vegas was such a big deal, is because they raced down the strip. Yeah. Vegas alone isn't a giant city. We're not Texas, right? We're not Miami. Really not, yeah. We don't have the space on the strip to do something like that without a lot of work around, right? So when they were racing on the strip was completely closed. Like a huge, big portion of the
Mm-hmm.
strip and the surrounding, the whole track, like closed off a lot of things. Imagine the thousands of employees that work at these properties on the strip
Right. That's what
that
everybody was talking about.
that no longer have their route available,
Right.
or their route is now filled with a bunch of
Yeah.
tourists.
Because
Yeah.
imagine like working at what's like the middle of the strip, like MGM, Grants,
Caesars.
Caesars.
Yeah, I think Caesars is like literally like the 50-yard line.
Okay, so I'm like, imagine working at Caesars. Your route both directions is blocked off. So people were all talking about, how am I supposed to get to work? You want me to park at UNLV and walk there?
Yeah, what the hell?
Walk a mile and a half to get to work? Like, how, like, that's what everybody was talking about was, okay, if I can't actually get, because everything's blocked off, including locals, including people who work there, like, how am I supposed to get to work? If I'm not parking my car a mile away, I'm getting dropped off, but I can't even get dropped off next to the building.
Right.
Like, I have to get dropped off on the very edge of the strip and then walk. That's what everybody was talking about. And that's why all the locals were so mad and annoyed and angry. But also, like, I think is it Lewis Hamilton?
Mm-hmm.
He, like, made a post or something saying, like, we need to do better for the Las Vegas locals. Like, we're coming in here and we're kind of pulling their city apart
Yeah.
and making their lives difficult.
Yeah.
We need to do better. And then F1 actually released a statement apologizing to the locals of Las Vegas, saying, like, we're sorry. I personally am not against it, but I also personally haven't had to experience the turmoil.
Yeah.
I'm not working on the strip.
Right.
But I've been saying, like, I think this was a good trial year. I think we need another year. And I think next year will be
Better.
a lot better.
So a lot of the where are we gonna park? How is this gonna work? Some employees actually like rented hotel rooms because they were like, I'm just gonna sleep at work. There's
Yeah.
no point in going home because then I don't
Right.
know how I'm gonna get back. And then like,
Right.
right? Because we do have events throughout the year in Vegas where we have the Rock and Roll Marathon, right?
Mhm.
That blocks off the strip and that
Mhm.
turns into a chaotic
Yeah.
mess.
New Year's Eve
New
every
Year's Eve that
year.
gets blocked off. People
Everything's
are
blocked
stuck
off.
in traffic, like
It's
trying to get to their properties for like an hour, hour and a
yeah.
half.
It's
It's
not a new
crazy.
thing to have the strip blocked off. It's not a new thing.
But the difference between F1 and all these other events is F1 was multiple days.
Yeah.
It was like
Exactly.
multiple days that it was going to be closed.
Mhm.
And then they put the grandstands up, right?
Right.
Because this is something that you watch. And when F1 finally happened, when it was the practice race, and then when it was just oh my God, I forgot the terms. The qualifying races, that stuff, when it finally started happening, I went out to the strip because I was like, I want to see how bad this is going to be. As a local, is it really that bad? It took me the same amount of time that it usually
Yeah.
takes me to get
I
there.
don't think the traffic was not a problem
Traffic wasn't a problem.
anywhere.
Parking wasn't a problem.
No?
Not at all.
What I think happened was I think everything got so hyped up
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's like, it's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. And then day of, literally nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. But then everybody was still annoyed. And I'm like, why are we still annoyed?
Well, you also have to remember F1 happened in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah, because what was it, like 11 o'clock or something?
Yeah, it all
Like
happened
10,
at
11?
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
The final race, I think they closed the strip at 6 p.m. or something like that. So it wasn't that bad.
No.
It wasn't that bad. To me, it wasn't that bad.
I don't think it was either, but I also am for it because I'm for things that are like bringing new things to Vegas, bringing new people in, like new exciting things happening. I'm all for. So that's just my personal outlook on it. Like, I could see how people who have worked here for forever and they're over it, they're like, fuck this, we don't need this. Like,
but then you can also remember all those people that are on the 50-yard line of the strip or in the surrounding properties. They made money.
Yeah.
They were making, I know one property made 800, 1,000, 900, 700, like that whole weekend, every day. One of their paychecks for 1 week, 2-week paycheck was like over $5,000,
Yeah.
$6,000, something stupid like that. And it was like, I will sit in traffic for that money.
That's what I'm saying.
For just
like,
a week.
Right.
I will deal with it for a week.
Because we had like 2 casinos opening. So I was asking, everyone's talking about it at our casino. And they were like, I was like, oh, well, why don't you want to go there? And then someone was like, why do you want to work on the Strip so bad? Because I want to work on the Strip. And I was like, hello, like, that's where everything's at. That's where everything's at. That's where all the excitement's at. And they're like, well, I don't want to deal with F1 traffic. And I looked at them and I was like, one of my pit bosses was saying that to me. And I was like, you got to do that once a year.
Once a year. And it's, I mean, as a pit boss, you're still making the same hourly, but as a dealer,
that could really pay off.
Yeah. That's
So I was
another
like,
bump with, like, we talked about last season about all the good months.
yeah.
That's another good weekend we have.
Right.
For
So
dealers.
I was like, that's not bad. Like,
or
what?
just like cocktails and restaurants and all that stuff.
Yeah,
too,
I was like, you have to deal with that once a year.
a year, yeah.
But like also everything shuts like Super Bowl every year, even though Super Bowl this year is in Vegas, but Super Bowl every year, traffic, crazy.
Super
New
Bowl's
Year's,
biggest
traffic,
event, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like the 3-day holiday weekends, Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, traffic, crazy. Like this is not anything new. So it really surprised me that everybody was so mad.
Me too.
It honestly surprised me,
too, yeah.
but I don't know because I look at it and I'm like, yo, this is racing.
Yeah.
This is old school money. These are huge, like Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari. These are huge companies that have money, that have strong followings. Like, if you work in a tipping industry in Las Vegas, like this is what you pray for.
Yes, 100%.
So why is everyone
mad?
Have
all these whales at the same time?
Yeah.
Because when you're working at one of these really big luxury properties, you're hoping for that whale to come in once a month, right? And you're just hoping. But to know that now you have another week where you're like,
a set
they're
week
going
where
to be here.
Yes.
And you can already plan around it. And not only that, you have multiple whales that are here that weekend. Because F1, if you get into F1, you realize very quickly how much money is in this. And like you said, it's old school.
It's
like,
old money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. I actually looked for jobs when they came into town because they have a headquarters here now. They have a permanent headquarters. So I was like, well, no, there was all the gigs. That one I wish I had just done because we didn't do anything, as far as money went, we didn't do anything special at our casino. And I was like, I wish I would have applied for some of these gigs just to be in the experience. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for it. Like, I'm excited to see next year. I think this year, I think Vegas took it a little bit to the extreme. I had players telling me that it's more expensive than the Miami one, which is wild.
It is. Vegas is, I think, the most expensive one as of right now. It's Vegas, then Miami, then Texas is the cheapest one.
Okay. So I think like Vegas kind of took it to the extreme because they were expecting a lot, but then I think that really turned people off because I had players that because I was so interested in it. So I had players and I was like, are you guys here for F1? I had players that stayed at Cosmo normally. And they were like, we get our rooms comped at Cosmo every time. So they were like, hey, we're coming in for F1. What can you offer? And their hosts were like, sorry, we don't have any comps. The cheapest thing I can give you is a $2,500 a night room.
Vegas went too far with
Vegas went too far.
Yeah, because that's too far.
Because imagine coming in and you have comped rooms. Every time you come in, you have comp rooms. And now all of a sudden you're paying $2,500 a night.
No.
Bellagio was doing thing. Again, I had players who normally stay at Bellagio. So I was asking them, I was like, oh, are you guys here for F1? They were like, yeah. I was like, where are you staying? They were like, well, we stay up because they offered me a ticket. And I was like, how are you going to offer me a ticket? What? Like, you guys are in front of Bellagio? What?
Right.
Like, So what happened was this group of like 4 guys come to Vegas all the time. They normally stay at Bellagio for free. They had tickets. They had already bought tickets for for F1. Went to Bellagio to book their rooms. Bellagio wouldn't allow them to book their rooms. They knew they had to pay, so they weren't freaking out about paying for the rooms.
Yeah.
But Bellagio wouldn't book their rooms unless you bought an F1 ticket through Bellagio.
I didn't even know that.
So you had to have, I think the ticket came with the price of the room. But again, the price of the rooms were like $2,000 a night. So they were like, now we all have 2 tickets because we already bought our tickets. They wanted to stay there.
Oh, no.
Because that's where they normally stay. So they bought their rooms, which also included a ticket, but they didn't get their tickets until the day of. So they couldn't sell them. They couldn't pass them along to somebody else.
Oh my gosh,
they couldn't do anything. So they kind of got like bamboozled into having 2 sets of tickets. So I think Vegas just kind of took it too far. And I think everyone hyped it up with the traffic and with this and with that. And I'm like, People come to Vegas, they don't rent cars. What are we talking about traffic?
It's all Ubers and taxis
It's all
out there,
Ubers,
yeah.
you know?
And Lyfts and whatever.
And then because we work downtown, all the girls were like, no, it's going to be busy, Tori, it's going to be busy. But I knew it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's not going to be busy. Because if there's all this, it's happening on the strip, one. They're not going to leave the strip to come downtown, too.
I figured that too,
Especially if there's going to be all this traffic. They're not going to wait in traffic for an hour to come downtown. They're going to stay on the strip.
Mm-hmm.
What? They could walk from casino to casino.
Yeah, that's the same thing I thought. Like, once you came for F1, if you're from out of town and you got to the strip, you weren't leaving the strip.
No. So all the girls were like, no, because it's going to be really expensive. Everybody's going to want to stay downtown because it's going to be cheaper. And I'm like, we don't want those people.
No, you don't want
Do we realize that? Like,
right.
We don't want the cheap assholes staying at our casino playing with us because we're not going to make money. But then it didn't end up being busy. But we actually didn't do bad. We didn't do great, but we didn't do bad because we had good quality people. Yeah. But Krystal and I already decided we're going next year. We're just going to go to F1 next year.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to give us a ticket. No, give us a box. We'd like a box, please. Yes. We'll shoot a bunch of content in there if that's what you want.
Yes. Oh, and then I had another player telling me, he's came in often. I've seen him a lot, but he told me he tries to go to as many F1 races as he can. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that it's not fun in Vegas because all the other F1 races allow you to walk around the racetrack.
Yeah, they do.
The prior days. Mm-hmm. And Vegas did not.
Oh, they didn't let them?
Vegas said if you had a ticket for this section, you could only stay in this section. Oh. You can't walk around the racetrack. You can't walk to other sections where you're sitting. Like, if you have a ticket, this is where you're staying.
Yeah, no, because my friend...
So he said he was upset about that.
That is annoying because my friend lives in Miami and she got invited to go. And obviously I saw her videos. And yeah, she was walking on the track. It wasn't the race day. It was probably qualifying or something or practice day. But yeah, you can walk around. The drivers are walking around. Mm-hmm. And you have to be really quick. So I learned you have to be really quick. Here's a little tip. if you ever see an F1 driver walking around, you have to be ready.
Like camera in hand.
They're walking while they're taking the picture. So if you see them, you have to have your camera out and just be like, hey, as they're walking and keep going because they don't stop. I don't know if they're allowed.
So just take a video and screenshot it after because you never know. I'm happy that they're here. I think we needed a trial year. This was our trial year. Sure. The track got messed up by
the pothole,
the manhole,
the drain cover, the
drain cover that fucked up. It was a Red Bull's car.
Was it
a Ferrari?
No, it wasn't. It was two cars, but nobody really paid attention to the second car. That
was the first car.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It was only like a month and a half ago.
I told my husband, I was like, I'm surprised that wasn't on somebody's checklist. Like, that seems like that would have been on an intern's checklist.
Right.
Check the manhole covers.
Check all the covers on the track that these cars are going to be going 170 miles per hour over. So F1 cars are going so fast. So that's the thing. I learned so much this year or last year during F1 because they're going so fast. Like the car suctions pretty much to the ground.
To the ground? Oh,
so it gets very low. So that's why even though maybe some people saw the cover, the manhole, and they're like, oh, like my car can go over that, but their car can't. It's the velocity of how fast and
these
then
are different
how
cars.
low the car is to the ground too. And so that was the problem.
Okay.
But still,
But that's why I told my husband, I was like, how was that not on like some intern's checklist to check? That seemed so minute, especially because this isn't the only track that they drive on regular street roads. Because they have other tracks that are on regular street roads.
Well, this was one of them. This was supposed to be like a street race.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. This isn't the only track that F1 drives that's a street race. Like they have other races around the world that are on regular streets that have manhole covers. So I'm like, how was this not on an intern's checklist to be like, oh, check all the manhole? Like, just seemed like so hello.
Yeah.
So obvious to me, but
these millions of dollar cars. Yeah.
I say that, and I do not work in F1 and I do not race, so who knows?
Or just like
and maybe I wouldn't have thought of it if nothing had happened. But
true.
Because something happened. I was just really surprised because I was like, that seems like something.
Hopefully next year. Also, the issue is that, I mean, everything's so somewhat transparent because of the internet, right?
Yeah.
So when it first got announced that they're going to come and we're $2,500 rooms and like $5,000 rooms and restaurants, like if you wanted to reserve a table at a restaurant, it was like a $500 deposit. It was crazy. It was wild for a little bit. As the race day came closer, prices were like in half.
Yes.
F1 ticket prices
Were in
went
half.
so
Like they
low.
weren't selling.
No.
Because it was so expensive and people
Yeah.
were looking at that like, what? Plus, it's in America, like, I'm not going to say America. I apologize. It's in the States. So, it's not that popular in the States. So people are
Right.
probably like, eh.
And then if you could just go to Texas and pay $45 ticket to see the race,
Yeah.
like, why are
And
you
then
gonna come
here you're
here and have to
paying.
spend $10,000?
Right.
Hopefully next year's better. We'll be
Hopefully
there.
that's what we're hoping for.
We'll
Hopefully
be
next
there if
year's better.
anybody wants
I'm
to
so
come find
excited about
us.
it. Yeah. Let's go for sure. Okay.
What was the other thing that happened?
Next thing that happens, we had Fontainebleau open.
Oh, yes.
Durango was
Fontainebleau.
supposed to open before Fontainebleau and then didn't
No.
because they didn't have the staff.
Oh, was it the staff? I don't know the details about what happened. I just remember that they didn't open.
So they were supposed to open like a month or a few weeks before Fontainebleau. I think maybe a few weeks, like 2-3 weeks. And they ended up pushing their opening date back after Fontainebleau because they couldn't hire enough people because everyone was trying to get into Fontainebleau.
Oh, interesting.
Oh man, I have stories. So I did 2 interviews there, three interviews at Fontainebleau.
I was going to say Durango or Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau. My 3rd interview, I was there for 9 hours. I was texting you the whole time.
You were, yeah. I remember that.
It was 9 hours or 8 hours. I was there for like 8 or 9 hours.
It was the whole day.
Like everybody in my group ended up calling out of work that night. I had already called out of work before I went to that interview because I knew I just had too much shit to do. So I was like, I'm calling out.
Yeah.
And
now hindsight, if you don't know what's going on at that property, it's all over. I mean,
it's crazy.
The local newspaper covers it, obviously,
yes.
But even then, for it to be even covered by the newspaper almost has it been a weekly basis, multiple times a week sometimes since it's opened? Hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So apparently they had 6,500 positions available.
Durango or Fontainebleau?
Fontainebleau was 6,500. I believe that was the number that was supposed to be available. 6,500 positions available. They had over 80,000 applications.
That's crazy.
So on my 3rd interview,
a lot of people.
Yes. On my 3rd interview, I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave. I got there 45 minutes before my interview had started. I was in a fake tan. Like, got my teeth whitened, got my hair done, like, got my teeth jewels fixed, all the shits. I get there. I'm in this, like, knee-length, like, white dress that has, like, red lines on it. I get there, and the line is wrapped around the building in the back loading docks where the trash cans are all the way down 2 buildings. So I'm, like, walking along, and I'm like, what the fuck? And people are like, yeah, it's still going back. I spent 4 hours waiting outside in line, 4 hours. Like, when I tell you I got inside and had sweated off my tan.
Oh, my God. I mean, yeah.
Like, I literally was standing in line outside because it was summer. It was hot. Standing outside in line with my legs spread apart and my hands on my hips so my skin wasn't touching. So I wasn't rubbing my anything. Like, I was sweating. I get inside, and I'm not a sweater. I get inside, and I'm, like, looking at myself, like, half my makeup had melted off my face.
Oh, my God.
Like, I was like, this is why I'm not going to get this job. Like, I went to the bathroom, and my tan had, like, melted off, but was on the inside of my dress. Hadn't peered through the outside of my dress yet. Thank God. So I spent 4 hours standing outside in line, got inside, spent another 3 hours inside waiting, finally did my interview, got pushed to the 2nd round. So waited another hour, did my 2nd interview.
2nd round was at the same time.
2nd round was the same day.
Oh.
So I got there at like 1:30. I didn't leave until 9:45 at night. And they were still letting people in the door at 9:45. There was still a line outside the building at 9:45 at night.
How many people do you think were in that line? Just like estimating. That's a lot of people.
I would say probably I would say a couple hundred, but it was definitely more than that. I would say around like a few thousand, maybe like 2, 3, 4,000.
No.
Yeah. Like coming in and out. And of course, like, because I had passed my interview time, right? Because I was sitting outside. So somebody that I had made friends with people I was standing around, so we were kind
Yeah.
of in our own group. So one of them went to the front and they were like, well, let me go ask, because a lot of them had passed their interview times.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them went around to the front to go ask, and they said that there's like not really an interview time, like to
Not
just
anymore.
come in.
You just threw it out the window.
And that was the first day for food and beverage alone. It was just food and beverage interviews. That wasn't
insane.
maintenance. That wasn't guest room attendance. That wasn't anything. That was just food and
Right.
beverage.
No front desk staff.
So
none
there
of
was
that.
another round of interviews that next day that people were leaving the line for, because they were like, I have to go to work. I've been standing here for 4 hours. I have to go to work. So they were going to come back the next day. And I almost thought about it, because the next day the interview started at 9. And I was like, I'm going to get here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
and stand in front of this building for 2
Yeah.
hours, because this is outrageous. People were getting hired on the spot. People weren't getting hired on the spot. Like, I came in and I was doing an interview for cocktailing, and I interviewed with a manager who was running the food court, like the GM of the food court.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I asked him, I was like, well, what do you do? Because, they're like, well, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, well,
Right,
what do
yeah.
you do? Because he really liked me. He was like, I think you'd be great in this company. Like, just keep an eye on your email, or this or that. Never heard anything back from them, of course. But he was telling me, like, oh, we're all just hiring. We're all helping each other. So they're at that point, they were just taking
Different
the next
departments were just
person,
helping.
the next,
Oh.
different department. So I was like, maybe I
What
got
a
screwed because I didn't get
mess.
to interview with an actual food and beverage
Right.
cocktail manager.
Right.
Yeah, it was a mess. It was
What a
it was absolutely
disaster.
crazy.
I mean, hindsight, if you know what's been happening, if you've been reading all the articles and on social media and all the stuff that's been happening from that property, yeah, it all makes sense. It's been quite of a mess at that lovely property. So if you don't know Fountain Blue comes from Miami. It's the where the resort is at, the first one, the only not the only one anymore. It doesn't have a casino in Miami. It doesn't have a casino. A lot of people mix that up. There's no casino, it's just a resort, Miami Beach. And they opened this property. This building has been under construction for what, like 16 years or something
I didn't know
crazy?
that, but I guess because it kept switching owners.
Yeah.
So different owners would buy it, but then didn't finish it, and then somebody else would buy it and didn't finish it.
Right.
I didn't realize that it had been under construction for that long.
So I guess Fountain Blue had it. They were going to build the Fountain Blue. Then the market crashed, right? Somebody else bought it, sold everything that was in it. Like everything, like gutted the place to make some money off of it. I don't know. Sold it to somebody else. That person had it under, or that company, whoever it was that bought it, had it for a while, and then Fountain Blue got it back. And then that's where we're at today.
Okay.
It finally opened.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you come to Vegas and you're looking for a new casino to go check out, Fountain Blue's the new one. It's so far from the 50-yard line.
Yeah. I went one day after work. I went the second day they opened. So they opened on a Wednesday. I went Thursday after work. So it was like 3:34 in the morning. And I thought it was beautiful.
It's beautiful.
But like
yeah.
you could clearly tell they weren't ready to open.
No, they weren't ready. But then
Like,
again,
yeah. Clearly they weren't ready. Like things were kind of a mess. Like
yeah.
there was a lot of like big open spaces that just kind of made it feel like unfinished. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the hotel itself is really beautiful. Like
Yeah, it's beautiful. I've been
the
there
way
too.
it's designed is really pretty. Poppy Steak is very popular. I've seen all of their Instagram
We
posts.
have to go to Poppy Steak
We
one
need to go
day.
to Poppy Steak.
We need to get
We should do
the
that.
brief steak or whatever it's called, where they bring the steak out in the briefcase.
Yeah.
It's such a spectacle, but it looks like fun. And
It does
Live.
look like fun. Live. So that was my thing. So I came. So they opened. Fountain Blue opened on Wednesday. Live opened on Thursday. So I went as Live was letting out.
Oh yeah.
So that's why that center bar was like packed, because there was a center bar and it was packed, and I was like, bro, it's fucking 4 a.m. What's going on? But it's because Live had just let out, so everybody was coming out.
Live is so.
I heard it was small.
Part of my life. I grew up in South Florida, so I remember how big Live was, and me waiting to be 21 to be able to go to Live. And now we have Live Las Vegas. It's so much fun. I haven't gone. We're gonna go one day. I want to go. I don't know. I have plans.
Yeah,
we'll go. We'll go. We'll bring the podcast along.
Yes,
but
I heard it's kind of small. Someone told me that the venue itself was small.
Well, okay, about that, I guess Vegas is now turning back to the time before mega clubs like Omnia and like just, how clubs at one point were just mega clubs. Like they were huge, multiple rooms and like all these different bars. Apparently, the strategy is to go back to small venue clubs. Like,
Okay.
yeah, just catering to the crowd that wants to go to the club, right? Instead of these mega clubs where you're trying to cater to everybody, I think is what the plan is.
Okay.
So yeah, Live isn't huge, but it is your standard nightclub size.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, it's not, not a bad thing that it's not massive. I just assumed it would be huge.
Yeah.
That was just my assumption. So when somebody was like, no, it's kind of small.
Yeah, I seen that. A lot of people assumed that it was going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
But
I don't mind small clubs, though.
I also haven't seen the day club because it's not open yet. Because they open December, so it was winter, so no day club until March probably. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was like, usually I think day clubs open March or April.
Right.
Because I know like the cocktail servers wear the tracksuits the first couple weeks because it's cold.
It's still a little chilly, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what the day club looks like. That's what the one I really want to go to. I want to go to day club before I go to the nightclub.
Yeah.
I feel like once you go to one nightclub, you go to all of them. I feel like day clubs tend to feel a little bit different.
Yeah, I agree.
But
yeah, Fountain Blue brought out all the celebrities.
Oh yeah,
all the celebrities.
If you saw any articles about their opening night, there were so many celebrities there.
There's Cher, Usher, Bruno Mars.
Not Usher, not Bruno Mars.
I thought Bruno Mars was there.
He wasn't there. It was Justin Timberlake.
Oh.
Wait, was Justin Timberlake? It was opening day.
Are you sure that Bruno Mars wasn't just there to experience it? I know, like the Kardashians. Kim Kardashian was there. I think Kendall was there.
The Kardashians were there mainly for Komodo, the restaurant. I don't know what connection they have there. They were there for the hotel, but I think they were hired for Komodo. Like that was their fulfillment of the night. They had to be at Komodo. Justin Timberlake performed, and there's so much drama behind that one. That was fun to see all the headlines talk about that drama. That was so interesting. Yeah, Cher was there.
I feel like I saw some promo video and there was
Sylvester
like
Stallone,
yes,
Tom Brady,
yes,
Cher's boyfriend, which is Tyga.
Cher's dating Tyga. Cher.
She's dating somebody like a third of her age, not even half her age.
Hold on, we gotta Google that one.
Cher's boyfriend. No, it's not Tyga. Oh, no. It's his friend. It's Tyga's friend.
Okay,
that's what it was.
What?
Alexander Edwards, AE, the music executive. There is a 40-year age gap between the two.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I'm just not that person.
Like, I just 40-year age gap?
Yeah.
No.
I think the hotel was open the first night for like VIP guests and then officially open the second night.
Yeah, I think that's how most resorts, when they open, they have a VIP night.
Like a VIP night, yeah.
Where they want to show off the casino to all the VIPs,
right?
Before the regulars go in and mess it up.
Yeah, exactly. And then Durango opens.
That is
which is a Stations casino, but it's a local casino, kind of towards Summerlin area.
No, opposite.
Stop it.
Southwest.
No, because it's on the way to Red Rock.
No, it's not.
Yes, huh?
No, it's not. It's
from
way
my house,
down here.
From my house, it's on the way to Red Rock. Like, I have to pass Durango to get to Red Rock.
Oh, you take the 215?
Yeah.
But it's not near Red Rock. It's not in Summerlin. It's in the Southwest.
Oh, my goodness. I'm about to Google it real quick because I'm confused. Let's just see where it's at. Okay, so it is in the Southwest. Let's see where Red Rock is. Why did I think? I guess if I'm thinking of it is kind of.
I mean, but it's not near it. It's not like down the street. I mean, I guess if you take the freeway, it's down the street.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess from my house, I have to pass Durango to go to Red Rock. So that's why I was thinking it was in that area. Because I just have to hop on the
miles per hour.
I do drive kind of fast.
For it to feel that close.
I do drive fairly fast. I won't lie. I do drive kind of fast.
I'm a
very good driver.
That's what I was saying. I'm an aggressive, defensive, safe driver.
Aggressive, defensive, safe driver. That is me, because you have to be out here.
You have to be.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The drivers
You
out
won't
here are
survive.
scary.
Yeah.
No, you will not. You will not survive. When I first moved here, I would have friends like come out and visit me, and I would tell them like, please don't be scared by the way I drive, but it really is survival of the fittest out here. And if you're not slightly aggressive, you're not going to get where you need to go.
Nope.
And they'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just so you know, don't be scared. Like, I got this.
Yeah,
I got
just
us.
hold on. You'll be
I got
fine.
us. We're going to get there. Yeah. I was like, we're going to get there.
All right, so F1,
Mm-hmm.
Fountain Blue, Durango.
Those are all the new fun things that have happened in Vegas so far.
Yeah, that's a lot in a month and a half that we haven't been on
Yeah,
the show.
actually,
Or
no,
2
you're
months we haven't
right.
been on the show.
It hasn't been that long.
Mm-mm.
Why does it feel like it's been over a year for me?
Because it feels like that.
I feel like that happened a year ago. Oh my goodness, my sense of time is so terrible right now.
Oh, so bad for me.
I have no sense of time. Like, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is.
Never.
It's
Yeah, 2024 has been
yeah, the 1 month of 2024 so far has been a lot.
I thought 2023 was like done and over with.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Survive.
My New Year's resolution is to get out of survival mode, actually.
I don't know.
Because I feel like I've been doing it for so long.
We'll see. We're going to look back on this episode.
I just like went into zombie mode.
Yeah,
like now that I'm talking about it, I literally went into zombie mode and now I'm like, fuck.
Now we're sitting here just like, how did so much happen?
So much has happened in such a small amount of time.
A very small amount of time.
But it doesn't feel like a small amount of time.
If you look at it from a different perspective of time. I think that's it for at least things that have happened in Vegas in the last 2.5 months, 3 months when this airs. A lot. There's a lot to look forward to. And as far as the show, there's a lot to look forward to.
That's true. We're going to start having new people on this season. Hopefully we'll go experience some like different casinos that we're going to rate and review.
Yeah, we have to do that this season.
Yeah, we got to do that.
We just have to do it. Anyway, so welcome to season 2 of Changing 100. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, like, share with your friends, and don't forget, you have 20 seconds. Go.
Don't walk through the pit. Oh, wait, I went backwards. Tip your cocktail servers, tip your dealers, and whatever you do. Dang. Okay, whatever you do.
One more time.
Don't forget to tip your cocktail servers, tip your dealers, and whatever you do, don't walk through the pit.
Don't walk through the pit.
Don't walk through the pit. Oh my God, that happened the other day. It was like a pandemic, just everybody walking through the pit. And I was dancing on the box, and I was like, the next person that walks through the pit, I'm going to like chest kick them. I'm going to like take my dancing dealer boot, and I'm going to kick him in the chest and be like, get out of my pit. Because it was nonstop one night. Okay, but that's it. Thanks for coming. We'll see you this season.